Hello, a Rosie math teacher coming at you from my third period, grade 7 accelerated math class, where we are practicing our session 2 of the FAST exam review, items 9 through 16. I'm just giving hints and then we're going to get busy on our own. Question 9. An online gaming club charges $12 to join. Now, this question that I'm about to ask you is not a part of what they want you to answer, but I'm going to help you learn along the way other things I know that you need to know. Class, if you had the equation y equals mx plus b, given the fact that the $12 was a one-time amount, we sometimes call it a one-time fee, which variable would the 12 go in place of? The y, the m, the x, or the b? Please say it. The b. I had a few people very quietly, shyly say it, but they are correct. Why? Because the b is also known as the what intercept? The y-intercept. So if you were creating a grid where there actually were numbers, where would you place 12 along that y-axis? At 12. You would place the 12 at 12 on that y-axis. And then if it is not numbered, can you at least look at option A and figure out if this beginning point of the line is acceptable or not? Is this beginning point acceptable for a one-time fee of $12? Yes or no? No. Why? Because it is at what level? Zero. So that is not acceptable, not even an option. Then they ask you, each minute of playtime after you've made that one-time fee costs 5 cents for the first 60 minutes. So each minute for the first 60 minutes, it's 5 cents per minute. Then after that, it's 3 cents for each additional minute. So here's what they're wanting you to determine. Is your line, first of all, it's going to go out from 12, yes? And then do you agree the line will go up, or do you agree the line will go down? It will go up because you are paying more as the minutes go by. Do you agree, or what do you think your line will do for 5 cents per minute compared to 3 cents per minute? When the amount per minute is greater, will your line be steeper or less steep?
Steeper.
Steeper. So you should pick an item that looks like it could have begun at 12 on the y-axis, and then it should be going at a steeper amount for what number of cents per hour? 5 cents per hour. And then the next amount should do what? Become a little bit less steep. Why? Because 3 cents per minute is what then 5 cents per minute? So steep for a greater amount per minute, less steep for a lesser amount per minute. All right, when you get to number 9, I'll let you do that on your own. Item number 10, you will select the best estimate of each expression. The very first expression is 11 minus square root of 30. Now class, I'm just going to tell you the honest truth. Even though you have choices, an online calculator or a handheld calculator, the smarter one to use for this item is your online calculator, simply because there's a little bit more involved and it will be easier for you to check and see, did I include all the right pieces? So literally you will copy 11 minus square root 30, and then you will round it appropriately if needed to the nearest tenths and choose the one that is the most appropriate. Do you have any questions on how you're going to do all of the items there? Okay, wonderful. Then go to item number 11. This time, you will select the correct comparison symbol for each statement. It will be less than, greater than, or equal to. For the first item, you'll type only negative 98 over 25 into your online calculator. Write down at least most of the decimal that it gives you. Then type into your calculator cubed root of negative 66. Compare the decimal value for this to the decimal value for this. Now, let me ask you this. If you are comparing two negative numbers, what do you remember to be the case? For example, -3 compared to -6. If I had to write -6 and the comparison to -3, what would I use? Would I use less than, greater than, or equal to? Please say it. Less than. Great job. Why? Because I think I had some kids earlier today, they kept missing this one and they were getting frustrated. And specifically, it was the first item. And they were choosing one sign when really I think what they were doing, do you think they were going, oh, 6 is greater than 3, and that's why they kept picking greater than? When in reality, -6 is further to the what? Left. When something is further to the left on a number line, it is therefore less than something to the right of it. Does that help you understand comparisons in negatives? All right, continue those the best you can using your calculator. Question 12. They want you to make a line graph. We've done so much of plotting just 2 points and just a line to show the slope. You might be a little bit out of practice. For question 12, it's not a proportional relationship. It's not a linear relationship. And they want you to plot each individual point. So for example, your X values are the number for the week. Your Y values include the number for the miles. So the very first point that you should plot, you're going to click and your tool will have a point at each end. I recommend, because a lot of kids are getting this counted wrong. Some kids like to spin their tool before they even use it. Don't do that. You're going to scramble the brains of your online app. So you want to grab that first lower plotted point of your line and you want to place it at 1,10. Then you want to place the other end, the end that I have in black, and you want to place it at 2,11. Then you grab your tool again, click on the tool fresh. This time, leaving one end at 2,11, putting the other end at 3,8. By the time you are finished creating a line graph, you will have every single item from this entire table plotted, and you will have a line joining between each point. It will count you wrong if you start at 0,0. So do not start there. Start at what? 1,10. Okay, great job. Item 13. A satellite orbiting Earth travels 4.95 times 10 to the 7th meters for each orbit. Okay, when a planet is going around the sun, such as Earth, it is one orbit for one complete trip around the sun. It takes 6,600 seconds to make one orbit. What is the speed? Oh, this is a satellite, obviously. This is the speed of the satellite in meters per second. What is the speed per second? Meters per second. So guys, whenever you are trying to find speed, you want to do distance divided by what? What was the other element they gave you? Time. So you'll do the same thing here. Distance divided by 6,600 seconds, because they want the speed in meters per second. Do we have it set up so that we've got meters per number of seconds? Yes. You could do it that way, or if you struggle with knowing whether you should multiply or divide, you could keep that ratio, meters per seconds, and then you could set up unknown number of meters per 1 second. And then you would cross multiply, divide by lonely number. So if you're ever not sure which one goes top or bottom, then just put the 1 second across from seconds and you'll know to cross multiply and divide. Now, when you do this, you could either do this up front, because you have to do it in standard number form. You could either plug this in your calculator, and whatever number you get, they're probably going to give it to you in scientific notation form. So remember, when it says times 10 to the positive 7th, if this exponent is positive, it's telling you to scoot that decimal what direction? To the right. And how many times would it be if the exponent is 7? 7 times to the right. What digit fills in any empty buckets along the way? 0. So it's up to you. You can either convert this to a standard form number first and then divide by this, or you could set this in your calculator, and if they give you scientific notation form, you can convert that to standard form. Do I have any questions about scientific notation to standard? Okay, here we go. Question 14. Which transformation could create J prime, K prime, L prime, M prime from JKLN? So my pre-image, is it the one I have traced with red, or is it the one I have traced with black? Say it.
Red.
Red is my pre-image. How do I know? Because my image has the prime numbers or letters in this case, right? Okay. Second thing, when you are thinking about how it is transformed, make certain that you're realizing line JM now maps to line J prime M prime. Make sure you're mapping the correct line to the correct line and choose the correct form of transformation. All right, number 15. What is the solution to this equation? They give you 3/2 times 5t plus 2 equaling 3t minus 5 plus 2 sets of t minus 1. I'm just rewriting this so that it will be able to be seen on the video. You can either rewrite it now or just write it when you get to it. I don't mind. But at least understand this. In a moment, when you begin to simplify everything you see here in this equation, you will need to multiply what by what?
3 times 5.
Good. 3/2 times 5t, giving you a certain number coefficient with a t beside it. Do you get why it is just a t and not t squared?
Yeah.
Okay? And then you're going to say plus, and you're going to multiply what?
3/2
times 2, giving you a constant. Equaling, class, you would then have 3t, take away 5, plus 2 being multiplied by what? T, and then 2 being multiplied by,
1.
or -1, unless you put the minus there already. So you would copy the 3t, minus 5, and then plus, what is 2 times t? 2t. And then what is 2 times -1?
-2.
So I write it as -2. Do you follow so far? What do you know would be the next step on the right? Combine what? Like terms. So I would combine 3t and 2t, giving me what? 5t. I would then combine -5 with -2, giving me what?
-7.
-7. And I would keep on the left my number of t plus number. Now I need to do what? Remove what from one side? You cannot have your same good. Remove an amount of t. Now remember, if both sides have a value of t and both sides have a constant, then please remove the lesser value of t. Let's assume it's going to be 5t. So what would I do over here?
Minus 5t.
Good. If I remove 5t over here, what will I do under this?
Subtract it.
Minus 5t as well. Do it to both sides. So whatever I get when I subtract, it's a new number of t plus the constant I already had, equaling what is the only thing left on the left?
-7.
-7. Now you've got it down to a two-step equation. What will I do inverse of first? The constant. Do it to both sides. What will I do next? Divide by that coefficient. Do that on both sides. Any questions on how you would solve that part? Okay, once you have simplified to that point, you are now ready to determine which of these works as the solution, or if there is no solution. If it's not able to be solved, you will pick no solution. Let's go to item 16. Guys, I have a lot of writing here. Let me erase. All right, a company's logo. Guys, this one is the most complicated one of the whole 8 questions today. So make sure you're looking up and listening and understanding. I'll leave it up to you if you feel like you need to take notes. A company's logo is formed from similar triangles J, K, L, and M, N, P. What is the perimeter of the logo in centimeters? So, in order to find the perimeter of the logo, let's first understand what they're asking. Do you agree if I started at J and I go this way, I would need to include that measurement? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, because perimeter is distance what? Around an object. Thank you. I'm glad you said around an object, because I don't want you to assume that we need perimeter of that triangle plus perimeter of that triangle. Do you see what I'm getting at? Okay. So next I will count the distance for line what? It's labeled. It has a K. It has an L. What is it called? Line? KL. Thank you. Will I count the entire distance of line JL? Yes or no? I will not. I will only count from J to M and from L to P. Right? Okay, and then finish going around. I'll count line NP. I'll count line MN. Do you agree that I now have correctly marked my perimeter? Yes? Okay. I already know the distance of this line, this line, this line. Do I know the distance yet of JM and LP?
No.
No. Do I know the distance of NP?
No.
No. So I'm just going to use words to remind you that what you're going to do is you're going to create a what I know scenario and a what I want to find scenario. Keep your numerators as representations of your smaller triangle. Do you feel like you can do this? Okay. Does your smaller triangle give you the number for one of its sides?
Yes.
Yes. So this in the what I know, 10 for the smaller triangle over top of. Now determine which line on the larger triangle is mapped from line MN. Remember this. MN are the first what? 2 letters. So what letters here need to label the line in the large triangle that relates to the line MN?
JK.
JK. Just kidding. Okay, no, I'm not kidding. Okay, line JK. How long is line JK? 15. So remember your denominators, you should have labeled as the larger triangle. So where will I put the 15? As the what? Denominator under what I know. So you would have 10 compared to 15. Equaling, how will you find the length of line NP? Is that the shorter or the longer side, the longer triangle? I should say, is it the smaller triangle or the larger triangle? It's the smaller triangle, isn't it? Line NP will compare to, now look, NP are the what? Last 2 letters. So what line on the big triangle relates to it? KL, last 2 letters. Are you fully understanding that process?
Yes.
So then you would use the 10 over 15, and then unknown here, because line NN is the smaller triangle section, over top of line KL. What is KL? 12. So I would write 12. I would then cross multiply, divide by lonely number. will it give me the length for line NP? So I would write that down. That's going to be part of my perimeter. Then you do the same process, so keep the 10 over 15 as the what I know. Either rewrite it or erase the what I want to find. And now, do I want to find the measurement of this smaller triangle line here from M to P? Do I need to find line MP? You might think I don't, but I do. Just trust me on this for the moment. You need to find line MP. Well, MP is the first letter and the last letter. So what line in the big triangle compares to line MP? JL. Oh, it's this line, so it's how long? 21. So again, you're keeping your 10 over 15 equaling, do I know my numerator, yes or no? It's the smaller triangle section. Do I know the numerator for line MP? No. So I leave that open. Do I know the denominator for my larger line that corresponds to line MP?
Yes.
Yes. What is it?
21.
21. So empty numerator, 21 denominator, cross multiply, divide by lonely number. Do I get the distance for line MP? Yes, I do. Now, here's the tricky part. I only needed the distance for line MP so that I could take the distance for line JL and do what to get rid of the distance I don't want? Subtract. So does it make sense that if I put in a calculator the distance for line JL and then I subtract the distance of line MP, will I therefore get the total distance of these two smaller sections? Yes. Once I know those two smaller sections, will I then have all the information I need to do the distance around this red line? Yes. I wish you well. Do your very best. Slow your mind down. Do your best.